welcome to this video. A bit sort of different video than originally was planned. Sadly, we couldn't go to our Pet Plan Area Festival at Morton due to the fact that Beau had an allergic reaction, and as you can see from this next clip what his skin was like. This was a week ago. Beau has had a bit of an allergic reaction. As you can see, he's come up in hives, particularly over like his hindquarters, and he's quite sort of miserable with it. So we've made the decision that we won't be going to Walton tomorrow for the area festival, because a bit gutted really, but I need to get him a little bit more comfortable. So he's just going to wear quite a thin sheet tonight so he doesn't get too hot, although the temperature has dropped. But I think if I leave him completely naked, he's going to dig at it. But yes, unfortunately things don't always go to plan, but he's a member of our family, so he comes first, and there will be other competitions. So he does suffer this sort of time of year, but we have been able to keep sort of a bit of control over it, but unfortunately today it seems to have had a bit of a flare up. But he's quite happily eating now, and I'll go and get his rug. And you, Beau? Feels a bit sorry for himself. The other side's affected a little bit more. I don't know why that is, but as you can see, he's a little bit lumpy bumpy at the moment. Bless him. So he's going to start his week's holiday a bit earlier than planned, and hopefully we can get this back under control. We did unfortunately have to have the vet out, and he's had a steroid injection and also a course of steroids, which is now sort of come to the end of. Obviously with steroid treatment and with a lot of other veterinary treatments, there is a withdrawal period before we can then go out and compete. And if I remember rightly, for what he's had, it's 7 days, although we haven't got any competitions now. I think our next one is towards the end of March, so there shouldn't be any fear of anything being still in his system then, but it is something we have to be very sort of careful with. But I would always sort of put Beau first, make sure that he's comfortable before we'd even consider going to competition, hence why we withdrew from the Pet Plans. So he in general is beginning to look better. He's still got a few sort of bumps and a couple of sort of bald areas where there's sort of, unfortunately, just the top of his tail, you can see. But he is looking much better than he did, and he's also feeling better. We think it's something that grows this time of year that seems to sort of trigger it. So he's still quite itchy, which is a bit of a tricky one, and obviously we try not to get him too hot. He is. So Beau's actually been treated to a new Turnout, and this is partly due to obviously the issues we're having with his skin at the moment. So this is the Kentucky All-Weather Pro, which is lined with their artificial rabbit fur, including on the neck cover. He has their stable rugs and has got on particularly well with them. So we made the decision that we would go for this. This one is a 0 gram, so it has no filling, as Beau doesn't actually need a thick rug, and I think with this actual nice sort of fur line, that's going to keep him relatively warm anyway. As we thought we'd initially start with this one. Obviously, if we do have a really cold snap, I may need to reevaluate. You might need a slightly thicker one then, or whether I can add a liner to it. But I'm hoping this will keep him nice and comfortable. We'll see how he gets on with it. It's not the most deep sort of fitting rug, and this is actually a 6'6", where he's often a 6'3". Even where the chest straps are fitted, there's no stitching on the inside. The lining is completely separate. As what I find is the stitching, the chest straps often end up rubbing the shoulders. So I really like that sort of feature, and the binding has even got the rabbit fur. So I'm hoping this is going to keep him nice and comfortable, because I do think sometimes the nylon on the turnouts gets a bit sweaty and not very nice, and I'm not sure how comfortable he was finding it, particularly if it's so sort of wet and humid. Even though the turnouts are breathable, they can only be so breathable, otherwise they'll start letting water in. So it will be interesting to see how this one gets on. Like I say, it's not the deepest fitting rug, although that probably means it won't get mud all up on the inside of it, which I'm sure it will, because the first thing he's probably going to do is go out and roll, so this will be the last time it looks like it does. But I'm quite sort of pleased with the fit. He likes a slightly bigger tail flap, but the sort of plus features on it sort of outweigh the odd thing. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with it. Like I say, I use their stable rugs, and he always seems to be quite sort of comfortable in those. So we'll see how this goes. Right, I better take all the tags off it before he removes them himself. Well, it's too tired. And get Top Cat ready, and then he can go out in the field. So we're currently off out to the field. They get to spend most of the morning out, and I'll get them in a bit later and take Beau for a little ride. Obviously that is a little bit dependent on how his skin's looking. I'm quite pleased how it's looking at the moment. Top Cat, he's just shot in front of me. Can be quite exciting getting out to the field. They do like to wind each other up, but on the whole, pretty good. Top Cat. Almost, he's so short I can't actually get him in frame. I really need to improve my videoing skills. I'm learning all the time. One of these days I will get us all in frame. Right, I'm going to get in the right pickle if I try and let them go with the camera, so I'm just going to put the camera down. Roll, so whether he's quite sort of fond of his new rug and doesn't want to get it dirty just yet, I'm sure that will change quite quickly. But as you can see, the water is sort of running off it. We had quite a heavy shower just before I got them in, and that's all sort of running off the outer material. Obviously it's probably treated, which will eventually sort of wear as he sort of gets it muddy, but at the moment the water's just running off it, so it's lovely and waterproof. And we've just got a few mud splashes just along the bottom. His coat looked really good underneath it when it came off. The hair didn't seem to be sort of rubbed too much the wrong way. So far, I'm really pleased with it. We'll see how it goes going forward. I would definitely recommend it if you've got something with sensitive skin, or that can't tolerate sort of the nylon rugs and gets too hot. I think it's well worth a try, but we'll see how it works going forward. So yeah, very disappointing that we couldn't go to our area festival, but Beau's well-being comes first, and it wouldn't have been fair to take him. I'm pleased that his skin is sort of settling down a bit now. Hopefully we can sort of get it back under control. He does suffer this time of year. We didn't have so much problem last year, so I kind of thought we were a little bit sort of on top of it. He's over the worst of it now. It is when his coat's changing. It's almost like he gets little ingrown hairs. So I'm working on sort of trying to get the old coat removed, but we'll obviously out without irritating him. But I'm pleased with how it's looking today, and hopefully it will keep improving. But that's it for this video. Next week, we're going to sort of look back over the training we've done recently. Sort of beginning of sort of January and February, we were mainly training before we started going out competing. And I will see you next week. Bye.